I want to welcome you to the Museum of the Forgotten Warriors and the AMVETS presentation of our Patriotism Award to the museum. And this is the time I usually have all the veterans stand up to be honored for their service, but I think there's probably less veterans, or there's more veterans here than anybody I've ever had before. So still, let's, give everybody and the veterans and the first responders a thank you for their service. And I'm pleased with the turnout. This is great. So first I'll tell you a little bit about who AMVETS are. You see a lot of our tchotchkes and things up here. We are the oldest of the World War II veteran service organizations. Our roots go back to 1945, but we were chartered by Congress in 1947. President Truman signed this into public law in 1947. So we're probably one of the least known. I've had a lot of people today tell me they've never heard of AMVETS, and that's okay. We don't mind working, we're just working for the vets and getting our job done, and we appreciate any help we get. And we do run thrift stores. I think our most northern one, and we got a couple commanders back there that can tell you, is Fresno, I believe. And so, also, I forgot, let me recognize some of our VIPs that are here. Stephanie McKenzie, councilman for Marysville's here. Welcome. Wendell Anderson, the Yuba County Sheriff, is here. Along with, I gotta get the name right this time, Brandon Spears is also here, who is a deputy sheriff, right, with the same department. Welcome. And thank you, first responders, for the work you do here at home. Thank you. Gary Imhoff, did I pronounce you right, Gary? Yes. He is our Northern Area Commander of AMVETS. Welcome. And Ross Smith, who's the first Vice Commander of the Department of California AMVETS. Welcome. Okay, so back to us. We have a lot of programs where we get out in the community. This is the Patriotism Award for flying the flag properly every day. As you can see, this museum has more than one. The main one that really is flown all the time is also the one that is the police version, because Roberta's son and Dan's son is the deputy sheriff. So that's great. We've done this mostly in Southern California. I forgot to tell you, I'm from Orange County, California, Huntington Beach, and our post is in Orange County. I had to go through a few bells and whistles and jump through a few hoops to be able to bring this program up to your area. The local post is Oroville, that's the closest one, and they don't do this particular program. It's something I got started about 5 months ago, and I kind of wish I had got it started much longer ago when I first met Dan. I'm sure he would have really appreciated this. And it extends a little farther to me than just flying the flag, because what Dan has done here, he's as much of a patriot as anybody I know. So that's part of what we do for here. We also welcome home program. There's only 2 states that do it, California and New York. That is where we put homeless vets into homes. We take them off the street. There are 60,000 homeless vets in this country. 29% of them are here in California. And so in 2012, this program started. We have served 4,768 vets, delivered $60,622 worth of, or 62,000 items, over $2.2 million worth of material to these veterans. And a lot of other groups do put veterans in VASH, VA housing, but we take it one step further, that's furnishing it. And if we can, it's red, white, and blue. A little cheesy, but they're veterans, and we try to honor the country and their service. And that's a really big thing down in our area. We've got at least one close to us in Orange County, our thrift store, and we also always are at the Orange County Fair. We put a booth up to help. We've actually talked guys down from suicide. Suicide awareness is really big in our post. About 22 veterans a day on average commit suicide, which is appalling, sad, and we're finding a lot of them are not the young guys coming home, but the much older Vietnam and Korea area vets. So that's one of the big things we do, this flag thing. I have some booklets up here that please come up and take. They're written by our first vice commander. I'm the second vice commander. I probably skipped over that. I forgot the number of flags. There's thousands of flags this country's had since 1775. There's a small collection in this book, and there's history about the flag. he personally has a recreation of almost every one of them, and it would take, I think it's 7 people across, 50 deep to carry all these flags in a parade. And if there was ever a flag fanatic, he is, but he knows everything about the flags. A wonderful guy, Chuck Kissel. So please feel free to take one of those with you. And what's ever left the museum, you're welcome to have them here for anybody you'd like. Also, I'd like to talk about, our area. If you get down to Southern California, the Post 18 is real active with Heroes Hall, which is at the Orange County Fairgrounds, which was during World War II, Santa Ana Army Air Base. Thank you, Richard. And now we helped them save the very last surviving barrack, and it's been turned into a museum, which is considered a safe space for veterans to tell their stories. And there's a booth where veterans can record their stories. Upstairs is a exhibit about Saab, Santa Ana Air Base. Downstairs is a rotating exhibit, and it just finished PLW. It's now doing a propaganda one. And outside is the Veterans Walk of Honor. And that's something Post 18 got started at the county building. It started to get, a lot of the homeless are living down there. They were defacing it when this plaza was put together. We were allowed to move it there. And the outside is like Meritorious Cross level. The inside is Medal of Honor winners. And they're all Orange County related. And I always like to tell a little bit of some of those stories. We have one guy that we really it's kind of a mascot, if you will, is a Medal of Honor winner, Tybor Rubin. And the Long Beach VA was named after him under President Obama. His Medal of Honor was honored, he was a recipient under President Bush. It took that long from Korea, he was in Korea, to get honored. He was actually a survivor of the concentration camps in World War II, was so moved that he joined our service when he came to America, but he didn't pass the entrance exam. He couldn't speak English well enough. So the second time he tried, a lot of the people there helped him. So he went to Korea. His sergeants didn't like him. They were very anti-Semitic. So he just went through this in Nazi Germany. And his family had tried to get him out. He's like 13, but he got caught. So he was sent to the camps. And so he ended up always getting the hardest duties, the most dangerous ones. 2 commanders recommended him for the Medal of Honor. And they both got killed, and his sergeant never did it. So he got witness statements, all kinds of things, about what he did. Sorry. It's a moving story for me. But anyways, when he went to the camps, a lot of the guys lost their courage, lost their, and they were just giving up. He would sneak out of the camp, raid the local farms or the Chinese supplies to help his fellow soldiers. Sorry. So anyways, I'm not going to read the rest of that. I always get choked up with this story. I've got a whole thing here on his commendation. But I've met his son a few times out there. He's just been touching his dad's plaque. He's a real nice guy, Air Force retiree and works at the VA. And Tybor himself had volunteered so many hours at the VA. It's partly why I got named after him. So that's his story. Let's move on. It's a little more uplifting for me. Okay, so we talked about welcome home, sorry. So how we found this museum. Not to toot my own horn now, but Richard here sitting in front is my cameraman. You see the camera over there. We do a YouTube travel show. And I was looking for a place to shoot up here in the north. And I'm like, I was stationed at Beale. I wonder if there's anything around Beale. I'm on the Google map. Hey, there's Museum of the Forgotten Warriors. I went, how did I miss this? I was stationed at Beale. Opened in 1985. I got here in January 1985. How did I miss this place? Now, granted, once I moved on base, I went out the gate to Roseville, the gate to Tahoe. I didn't come out the front gate a lot. But I can't believe I missed it. So we called up here or sent Dan an email, says, yeah, come on up. So we went out to Beale. We got shooed away from the front gate of Beale when we were just taking some pictures. Came down here the night before just to make sure we knew where it was. And Roberta's like, we're not open. I'm like, oh, no, we're coming tomorrow. Oh, you guys, yeah. Let me go get Dan. We didn't have our cameras running. Dan gave us like a 2-hour tour. He wasn't even open. Then we came back the next day. I don't know, we spent 3 or 4 hours with Dan. We had some camera problems. We had some stuff we didn't like. And I called up, can we come up again? Oh, yeah, come on up. So he was on his tractor doing some work and came in, and I said, Dan, we just need, a little bit here, a little bit there. We got another 2 or 3 hour tour with Roberta saying, Dan, you got to come in. You got to eat. Dan's like, no. And I'm like, Dan, go. We got plenty of stuff to do here. So unfortunately, I was editing and I got a message saying, I knew 2 words into it. Something had happened. She goes, yeah, he went to the hospital the day after you filmed. He's passed. And I was devastated. I thought, God, did we drive Dan to his grave? Filming so hard. Don't worry, it's not you guys. But even there, so close, and I guess he wasn't feeling well, you would have never known it. He was so, happy with what he was doing here. And he welcomed me home, and I'd never been welcomed home. Now, granted, I was just up the street here in Beale. I was from Southern California. My TDYs were to Vandenberg and then one to Eglin, so I finally got out of the state. But, he was just like that. He appreciated our service. And I can see by the people who've shown up here, you all have felt that he appreciated the service and runs this wonderful place. And I'm so happy that Roberta and, that's Dan, right? Don Schrader is still helping this out and keeping it going. And we hope that it keeps going. So that's how we found the museum. So then I told my post, I want to take our flag award up there. Well, you can't. It's not in our area. Well, what do I do to do that? Well, I think Gary I talked to the commander up in Oroville, and finally got my commander to say, okay. Called Roberta, and she's like, okay. So it took us a while to get up here, and now we're here. Now, we usually would do rifle volley with our Legion of Honor. They couldn't make it up here. We basically kind of demonstrate when we do military honors for veterans, which we fire 3 volleys. We give the family 3 spent shell casings in a little felt bag, and we fold the flag, which I brought 2 guys with me, one a Navy veteran and an Army. He couldn't make up his mind. Flew helicopter, or not, didn't fly him, was crew chief in helicopters. Did some Navy stuff, or Army stuff also. Richard has been a troop leader with the Scouts and done flag retirements, things of that nature. And a lot of people don't know that there's a meaning to every fold in the flag. So we are going to do that here real quick. And it's something we do at every funeral burial that our post covers. We read this off as the flag's being folded. So go ahead and step up, guys. And usually, guys would be in uniform. They would have the gloves on and everything. So, excuse us for not being able to do quite the normal route here. But do you want me to move the statue, or are you okay?
Yeah. We'll just
do it up there, okay? All right. All right, so just fold when I mention, which fold we're on. So thank you for moving that. Okay. All right, the first fold of our flag is a symbol of life. The second fold of the symbol of our belief in eternal life. The third fold is made in honor and remembrance of the veterans departing our ranks and who gave a portion of his or her life in defense of our country to attain peace throughout the world. The fourth fold represents our weaker nature. As American citizens trusting in God, it is to Him we turn in times of peace as well as in times of war for His divine guidance. The fifth fold is a tribute to our country. For in the words of Stephen Decatur, our country, in dealing with other countries, may she always be right, but it is still our country, right or wrong. The sixth fold is where our heart lies. It is in our heart that we pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. The seventh fold is a tribute to our armed forces, for it is through our armed forces that we protect our country and our flag against all enemies, whether they are found within or without the boundaries of our republic. The eighth fold is a tribute to the one who entered into the valley of the shadow of death, that we might see the light of day and honor our mother, for whom it flies on Mother's Day. The ninth fold is a tribute to womanhood, for it has been through their faith, love, and loyalty and devotion to the character of men and women who have made this country great and have been molded. The 10th fold is a tribute to the Father, for it is He, too, who has given His sons and daughters for the defense of our country since he or she was first born. The 11th fold, in the eyes of the Hebrew citizens, represents the lower portion of the seal of King of David and King Solomon, and glorifies, in their eyes, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. The 12th fold in the eyes of a Christian citizen, represents an emblem of eternity and glorifies, in their eyes, God the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost. When the flag is completely folded and the stars are the uppermost, reminding us of our national motto, "In God We Trust." After the flag is completely folded and tucked in, it is in the appearance of a cocked hat, ever reminding us of the soldiers who served under General George Washington and the sailors and Marines who served under Captain John Paul Jones and were flown by their comrades and shipmates in the armed forces, preserving for us the rights, privileges, and freedoms we enjoy today. Thank you, guys. And this is where we would present the flag to the family. And this is the time when we ask for a moment of silence for those who have served, will serve, who have fallen, and will fall in the future. If we can just give us a moment of silence. Thank you. All right, so on to the ceremony and the awards here. I'm sorry, what? Councilwoman from Marysville, I've lost your card here. Would you like to come up and say a few words?
Well, I'm honored to get to be here this morning and even get to speak. And I loved hearing that. I don't know if I've heard the whole thing about the flag before, but I was thinking today about the Bible talks about government's established by God. And in the Bible it says that God says that he who honors me, him I will honor. And I know that by whoever served our nation on behalf of the government of the United States has also been in service to God himself, even though maybe we don't look at it that way. That's what it is. Your agents of righteousness through the government of the United States and the government set up by God. So I just want to honor all of you for having served the country in service to the Lord. So I just bless you for that and honor Roberta and Dan and for setting up this place of honor. It's just so magnificent and so obscure at the same time. Just a really great little secret here, a gem. But anyway, I'm so happy that you've been recognized for doing this thing. That's just so special. And so it's just very fitting that they found you, and I'm just very happy to see this happening. And so just bless you. I know Dan would love it too. I didn't know Dan, but I'm just glad that his legacy is just continuing to be recognized, and it's so special that we have you right here to do this. And so anyway, thank you, bless you all, and thanks for serving.
Would you like to say anything?
Sure.
I'll give everybody a chance.
Well, I wasn't expecting to speak, so I'll keep it very brief. And more than anything, I just want to say thank you to all you veterans that are here in attendance and all those that have served our country. And I did have the opportunity to get the special tour by Dan, and just a tremendous guy. And this is a great honor for Roberta, for the Spear family, and I know Don Schroeder has picked up his, or tried to fill Dan's shoes, and done a very good job, so thank you, Don. And we can never repay what you've done for this country. And to all the veterans out there, thank you for your service. It's tremendous. Thanks.
Ross or Gary, you'd like to say something from the leadership of AMVETS, either one of you? you.
Back and forth. I'm pretty loud. I don't really need to go up there, but I will.
Okay,
I will.
fine.
It's all right. It's all right.
Keep it short there, Ross.
Trying to get this set up so I can take some more pictures. This is an honor. This is truly an honor to live an hour and a half from here and not understand that a place like this exists is beyond comprehension. What you have here is you have a lifetime of memories, good, bad, and indifferent, that allow veterans to come and vent what they've been through in their lives. It's extraordinary. The healing power that can come from a place of honor like this is indescribable to most that have not served this country. AMVETS is here for any veteran, active duty, reserves, National Guard, in any aspect that they need help with. All we are is a phone call away, like any other veteran service organization. So it is truly AMVETS' honor to be here to represent our organization and to help any and all veterans that are in a mode of crisis or in a mode of need. And we want to thank you for that opportunity. So thank you very much. Thanks.
Ross, sorry. You know, I should mention too, and with Dan brought an item in here, I brought him a couple pictures from when I was at Beale, and he wouldn't take them unless I wrote on them the little story that went with it and put my name, because he kept telling me, it's not about war, it's about people. And we got to keep emphasizing that. It is definitely not celebrating war, but about the stories. And we all know when we've served, the civilians sometimes don't understand our stories. And I was mainly peacetime, but I did have some tragedies I had to deal with at the base. And, you know, the civilians, most times they don't get it. So it's really great that he put this all together for us. All right. So make sure I don't want to forget anybody. Okay, Don and Roberta, you guys got to come up for the bigger awards.
No,
And-
I just got a post that I didn't expect. On this day in 1990, an SR-71 Blackbird flew from LA to Washington DC out of Beale Air Force Base in 1 hour, 4 minutes, and 20 seconds. That's a world speed record that has never been broken. Wow. 30 years ago today.
Thank you. Okay, so Lauren Nicholson is here to present a certificate from Assemblyman Gallagher's office and Senator Nielsen's office. So, go ahead and take that.
Good morning. So on behalf of Assemblyman Gallagher and Senator Nielsen, I really feel privileged having listened to what we've been talking about this morning, the stories that you're telling, the history and the importance of remembering all of you, our veterans, everything you've done. And so I thank you for including me today. And on that note, I have a joint certificate of recognition from the Assemblyman and the Senator, commending you, congratulating you, thanking you for this amazing award that reflects so well all that you and Dawn have done and continuing your tradition. Where'd you go? There you are.
Hi.
Thank you.
So, thank you so
Sarah.
much.
Thank you very much. I don't do microphones, but thank you all for coming today.
You know that for sure.
I don't need a microphone. I yell at these guys every Saturday. This is my son, Bran. He's here with me because Dan's not here. Dan would have loved all of this, and I so appreciate it very much. He bonded with Greg from the first time they met, and anybody who wanted to listen to his stories, he was very happy to tell them. He could go through each display and give you the background when they brought it in, you know, and he would be all excited because something came in the mail and it was like a rusty helmet with a bullet hole in it, and I'd be like, yeah, whatever, cool, I don't know. But he liked things that had a story behind them, not something that was new. And he felt like everybody had a story to tell. It didn't matter if they were a private or a general. It made no difference. Everyone who'd served their country had a story to tell. So he felt like somebody had to be the keeper of those stories. So that's what this has become. We never, ever envisioned this. When I married Dan in 1974, I married a cowboy, not a museum curator. But he had, even, there's pictures in the library of him when he's like 10 years old, where we grew up in this funky little weird town called Ojai. The Ojai Valley Inn was a base during World War II. And then in years later, the Flying Tigers, a very famous World War II group, would have their reunions there. So as a young boy, he got to meet many of those heroes. And he just always liked military history, so he started collecting stuff. So as a 10-year-old, he had a glass case with stuff in it. So all that stuff was in our house before the first little building that was our garage. So when he said he's gonna start a museum, I'm like, cool. We'll get it out of my house. The boys grew up with, playing Army, shooting paintball, or, I mean, I knew they were gonna grow up to do something with guns. Because they're gonna shoot you with their finger if they can't shoot you with something else. And there were some kids that their parents wouldn't let them come back here because they got wounded. But anyway, that's beside the point. But anyway, thank you all. This is a really big honor. Dan would be tickled, and the whole point of this place is that people keep coming to see it. So that's my job now, is to continue this and find what the next evolution of the museum is. And I'm not sure what that is, but thank goodness for all these guys that helped me. They kind of roll their eyes at me, and I feed them on Saturday, but they treat me like the little sister, and they do what I ask them to do, so it works. So anyway.
I think we need to recognize some people here. Tony, sitting back there in the chair, was in the original museum when he first opened. So he's been here since the start.
35 years, almost Brand's entire life.
35 years. And Austin and Richard and Ray and who am I forgetting? Jack.
Mary.
Mary. They've all been here for Dan and for the museum. So without them, without Tony, and without the help, this place wouldn't be what it is now.
I can't tell the stories like these guys can. I kind of know a little bit about a few things. They know a lot about a lot of things. So I can kind of take them to certain things. Everybody always asks me what my favorite thing is in here. And strangely, it's a wooden leg. Somebody got a new leg, so they gave us their wooden leg, which I don't know why, it's just my favorite thing. I just think it's such an unusual thing. So anyway, if you haven't had the time to go through, please take it today. You can't see it all in one day. I live here, and I always see things that I've never seen before anytime I wander through there. So anyway, thank you to Greg, thank you to everyone.
Don't go anywhere, we got more. You're still in the hot seat.
Uh-oh.
And Gary, can I get you to come up here this time and help me with this? Gary, please. But I should mention, we overlooked one of the sons, Carson, right?
Carson recently moved to Idaho. He's a Iraq War veteran. He was a captain, served 2 tours in Iraq. Got a
Yes.
Purple Heart.
Pick up that award for. Yeah, and there is a, not that one, the statue one. There is a display for Carson in kind of that back corner over there. And from what Dan told me, he had more than one Humvee shot out from under him. So he definitely saw some stuff. So when I got to meet him when I was up here for the memorial, he says, yeah, I had a few and that was enough. So I can't even imagine being there, but we got to thank him for his service. He left the Army as a captain, I think, for his first cavalry?
Yes, first cavalry.
Yeah. And so thank you to him in absentia, I guess. So right now, this is our award that we're going to be presenting you. It's our Patriotism Award for flying the flag every day and flying it properly. And there is a quote from George Cohen at the bottom that I don't have on me right at the moment. But yeah, let me hold it for a second and read it.
Your eyes are better right.
I usually have a print out of this, but I messed up today. So it's, oh yeah, it's so small too. Basically, it's the land that I love. You know, George and Coham, I can't see this now with my eyes either, but it's to the Museum of the Forgotten Warriors for their patriotism and flying the flag every day. And, you know, remembering you, Dan, and to Roberta and Dawn for helping, and Carson and Brandon and everybody. Sorry, terrible names. Thank you. And AMVETS, thank you for your patriotism. Thank you for everyone that came. I really appreciate it. Actually, it ended up being a bigger turnout. I was a little worried about the rain, so we appreciate everybody coming. Our show, The American Landscape, the most viewed show we have is about this museum. And in parting, I'd say at the very end of it, when we were dedicating it to Dan, I found a point where he was laughing. He was back in here and he says, you know, without Roberta, I couldn't do this. What other wife we'll let you have helicopters in your front yard. So,
People think I'm joking when I say stuff like that, and they look at me like, no, whatever.
yeah, so I do have some cards I can give you with QR codes and websites if you want to see the show. I know there's a copy here digitally somewhere that I don't know if they show or not, but it's around and I can let you know where to find it if you'd like to see it. If you've never seen Dan in the museum, it's quite moving. So thank you, I appreciate it.
I'm gonna barbecue hot dogs too, so y'all stay for lunch, and there's coffee back there, Mary made cookies. So we always have lunch on Saturdays, sometimes it gets a little out of control, but, most of the time it's pretty good. So just hang in there and I'll get the hot dogs cooking.